and it's something taught by Claude Diamond. And it's really just a methodology that he uses that kind of allows us to have a little bit more control of a conversation. We do a lot of things that are kind of out of the ordinary. We use particular statements, particular redirects so that we can kind of stay in control of the situation. And we have a couple of philosophies that are built in, such as, trying to get everybody qualified within the first 3 minutes of being on the phone with them. It doesn't always happen in 3 minutes, but you always, that's your aim, that's your target, is to try to get somebody qualified and know whether or not you want to have a conversation with them within that time period, so that they don't waste your time or take you off of your game or change your mood or mess you up for the next call or anything like that. Hey Carl, what's going on, bud?
All right, yourself?
Good, man. Let me find some of the stuff that I use to kind of identify what we're doing. Does anybody have any questions, or does anybody have a role play scenario or something that we can jump on right away? Something you ran across in your conversations that maybe you were stuck at, didn't have a response to, or something of that nature? Nothing? Okay. All right. So I'll do some stuff here today. We'll make some. If we don't have enough role play volunteers, we'll probably end up just maybe making some calls or something.
I'll volunteer, Victor.
Okay. All right. Hey, Crystal. Thank you so
How are
much.
you?
So let me ask you. Let me have you set up this scenario. What is something that you have either run across or been challenged by, or this is important, mentally have had this conversation going on in your head about a certain expectation about something that's going to happen and you didn't know how you were going to respond to it?
Yeah. Well,
Right?
that would
We all
be,
have that, right?
yeah.
Okay.
For me, that would be, and I think what's holding me back a lot from not actually jumping out and making a call is I'm just nervous about the numbers and saying the right thing when it comes to offering them something, or I'm just nervous about that. I'm just nervous about saying the right thing when it comes to, oh yeah, my house is $400,000 on the market and I want 385,000. Like I'm just nervous about that. That's my thing.
Okay.
I don't know where to go.
Okay. So I'm gonna back up a little bit on that. Where are you marketing? Okay. So something that she said kind of triggered something for me. You guys, it's not easy to do lease options and stuff if that's your target. Is that your target, Crystal?
Yes.
Okay, so it's really difficult to do lease option deals in really high price markets, right? Like it's really difficult to do a lease option deal on an $800,000 house, on $1 million house. Those are really difficult. The sweet spot for a lease option deal tends to be someplace in between 100 and 300. Why? Because you have a huge buyer's pool, right? There's a lot of people in that category who can come up with the necessary down payment, who can afford what would be the regular rents, et cetera, et cetera. So somebody who's looking for a lease option property in an $800,000 category, they understand that the amount of money that they would be putting down and possibly losing is so, it's a lot, right? I mean, we're talking about putting down 100,000, 50,000, 80,000. Usually if somebody has those kind of resources, they don't have the challenges that make them the ideal candidate for a lease option situation. Now, is that true 100% of the time? Nothing in this business is true 100% of the time, right? There's always the outliers, the people who are going to, you know, fit into, you know, small boxes or whatever. But for the most part, and if you want to keep your business moving, you want to try to market and stay within the sweet spot of, you know, lease option financing, where you have the largest buyer pool, and not only that, you have the largest number of homes, right?
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
that obviously eliminates certain areas. You know, you're in New Jersey, if I remember correctly. Is that
Yes.
okay? So New Jersey, you have to pick your areas because
Yeah.
you just can't do all in New Jersey. You know, you and I worked on a couple of things, and the houses were 2 million, 1.8
Mm-hmm.
million. You know, the people who play in that arena, they're not necessarily your lease option guy,
Got it.
right? Like that's not who
Mm-hmm.
you're going after for a lease option deal.
Right.
Okay, so with that in mind, you start off with where you're marketing and how you're marketing. Like, you know, we do a particular process within the you know, real estate wholesalers club. We pull lists, we skip trace, we send out text messages, we get responses to those text messages, we reply, we set up a phone call, then we get on the phone with them. And this is where this part of it comes in, where we do the guts training. So I say don't that you don't call those other lists, but understand, you know, what pool you're swimming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And more than likely you're not going to get lease options, but doesn't mean you won't get a different kind of deal. You know, you might get a
Right.
wholesale deal, you might get a hotel, you know, which is, you know, you get it at a good price and you can turn right around and retail the home. So you could find deals there, but you know what you're aiming at, know what your target is.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so with all that long-winded answer to or sort of, you know, setting up the scenario, um, tell me what it is that you'd like to role play. What situation do you find that might be that you would be challenged by that we could run through?
Um, the where I'm the investor,
Okay,
you're the seller,
okay,
and yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. All right. Have you ever made a call before?
Never.
Never. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So do you want me to be the investor and you be the seller, or do you want to try to, you know, knock out the seller role right away?
I'm just gonna go for it, Victor.
No. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Why not?
Suzanne is clapping for the ladies. Let's do it.
Why not?
That's right. Okay, so you can go ahead and call me, and then whenever I see I can inject something, I'll just say off role play. You know, give
Okay.
you something, and then you know you can go from there.
Sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Crystal, and I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking for Victor.
Um, this is Victor.
Hi, Victor. I'm looking to, I saw your house on um, Zillow,
Okay.
and I'm looking to buy my next investment property.
Okay.
Like I said, I saw yours on Zillow, and it kind of interested me.
Okay.
I wanted to give you a call so I could ask you a few questions. Maybe you could ask me a few questions. Well, you can absolutely ask me a few questions.
Okay.
And if at any time during our conversation you feel like I'm not the possible solution for you, then you can just let me know, that you don't want to be bothered, and you can fire me right then and there, and we'll be done with it. Does that sound okay to you?
Fair enough.
Okay, so like I said, I saw your place online. It looks very, very nice. And I was just wondering, how long have you lived there? And why is it that you would want to sell it? It looks like an absolutely amazing place. So why is it that you're interested in selling your house?
Well, I just got a job offer. I start in 2 months, and so I need to do something with this house because I don't want to be paying I don't want to be paying mortgages in two places.
Oh, okay. I see. I see a job offer. That sounds amazing. Nothing like getting a new job and, starting off in a new place. That sounds awesome. Are you going to be staying in the state, or are you going to be moving out of state?
I'm going to be moving out of state.
Oh, okay. Out of state.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I made a big leap and moved out of state once, and I moved to Florida, and it was absolutely amazing. So that's great. I wish you luck with that.
Thank you.
Um, you're welcome. So would you, well, first of all, tell me a little bit about, your house. Besides, the pictures that I saw online, is there anything intimate that you can tell me? Maybe some things that you may have done to it that don't come across online?
Um, well, no, I mean, I've lived here for a while. The house is in good shape. I mean, somebody could move in right away. I mean, they'll probably want to do some repairs and some fixes, and maybe make it their. Hold on one second. Let's see. Screen share's pause. I'm going to do something again. They may want to do some upgrades and stuff, but it's in pretty good shape.
Okay, great.
Um,
So then,
the roof is not, I've put the roof on maybe, 6, 7 years ago. So it's in excellent condition. We had some plumbing issues a little while back, but all of those have been repaired, and, we don't have anything going on right now that's going to be that anybody would need to worry about.
okay, that's great. All right. So then how much are you asking for it, or how much do you, feel the property is worth?
It's all on the Zillow ad.
Okay. All right. I
Okay,
don't
so
have
off the
the,
role play, I just threw that in there to see.
thanks, Victor.
Just kind of throw it at you. Just kind of throw you a little bit. They say that a lot, right? So you just want to be able to get back. Oh, okay. I haven't had a chance to really look at it. I could try to pull it up while we talk, but how did you come about your price? You can go there with it. So back on the
Okay.
role play.
Okay. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I'll pull it up. I can't see it right now, but I'll pull it up in front of me. But
Uh-huh.
what is it that while I'm pulling it up, can you just tell me what it is that, how much you think that it's worth?
I'm looking for 250.
250. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if I was able to make you an offer today
Hmm.
that would, you'd feel comfortable with, do you think you might possibly want to do business today?
I would definitely want to do business today. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, like I said, I'm a real estate investor, and I am looking for my next investment property. So, okay, so now I don't know where to go off the role play.
Okay, got it. Okay, so do you see my screen share?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is really the philosophy that we work around, right? This is really a breakdown of everything that we do. Obviously, the whole idea of this telephone call for all of us is to get somebody to an 8, 9, or 10 on this motivation scale.
Okay.
Right? So in the beginning, you always want to, set the agenda, give them a roadmap, get permission to ask questions, and give them permission to fire you. That's the first part of the agenda. You actually did, really well with that. For somebody who's never done it before, you did really good right there. We'll talk about, some of the, stuff that you did that we could correct, but I thought you did really, really well for someone
Yeah.
who's never done it before.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and your qualifying questions, you did really good there. You asked them why they were moving. I told you I had gotten a new job. You asked me what the price would be. We're going to delve a little bit further into that conversation. Obviously,
Okay.
I didn't expect you to actually go there. Again, like I said, you did fantastic, given what your experience with doing it. Timing, yeah, I told you, how long I had before I
Mm-hmm.
was going to have to be, gone. So
Mm-hmm.
you did really well there. And then you kind of got your first commitment when you asked me, if I would be ready to make a deal today.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's a really good question, in terms of, finding out just where they are on this scale timeline wise. You really want to, get them to see if they can make a commitment today. That means they probably, what's the unspoken behind that is that, I'm ready to do this. Okay.
Okay. So, is here the part where I'm going to, what I started to do, which was like, okay, like I said, I'm a real estate investor. That's my recap. That was the beginning of my recap?
Okay, so that's the first thing that I wanted to correct with what you said.
Okay.
They're going to realize you're a real estate investor. You don't have to announce it coming in, because as
Okay.
soon as you announce it, you bring up all of their perceptions, biases, against real estate investors.
Okay.
Okay, so you never want to, you always want to come in with something. Hey, my name is Victor. I was looking for a property in your area, and fortunately, I saw your property on Zillow. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? You ask me a few questions, and if there's a match, maybe we can do a deal today. If not, feel free to fire me. That sound good?
Okay. So in the beginning, leave out the real estate investor.
Yeah. Leave out the fact that you're a real estate investor. None of that, because most people can probably attest to this. As soon as you start saying real estate investor, now you're speaking into a opinion about real estate investors, an experience about real estate investors. You don't want all of that. If they're thinking that in their mind, let them think that. But you don't
Okay.
want to put it in the space, right?
Yeah. I don't want to shut
We
them
just
down
want to talk
before.
about,
Yeah.
let's talk about this solving your problem. That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Does anybody else have any input that they want to share about what they heard or anything like that? Feel free.
Yeah, can I ask a quick question? Hi, Victor. Is that it?
Hey, Abby, how are you, sweetie?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Yes, you
So,
absolutely can.
yeah. So is it okay, like during the conversation down the line, to mention that you're a realtor? Because actually, I spoke to a seller this morning,
Yeah.
and I had to, the house is vacant. She rehabbed it. It was an older lady, but she had to evict the tenants because they were not paying, So she's like, I don't want to deal with that tenants anymore and all that stuff. So during the conversation, I had to mention to her that, I want to rent it from her, that I'm going to be, taking care of the tenant. She doesn't have to worry about that. And I had to mention that as a real estate investor that I buy properties, all over, and this is what we do. So was that okay? I mean, she
Oh,
didn't have a problem.
absolutely. Yeah. At some point, it's going to come up in the conversation. You just don't want it to come up immediately because you don't want them to be in their heads.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to take control of the situation. You want to try to control wherever their thoughts are going, right? So you stay away from a bunch of jargon. Right now, all you're doing is telling them, look, I'm ready to do a deal today. And I would love to ask you some questions, and definitely feel free to ask me some. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. Let's part as friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But
Yeah.
at some point, and if you are a realtor in their particular state, then at any point you can say, look, I'm a licensed realtor in this state, but at this point right now, I'm actually looking to buy this property for my own portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
But if it should become a situation where it's best for you to use a realtor, I'll be happy to share with you what I think from a realtor perspective. Is that something we can do?
Okay.
But you only have to reveal that in the state that you're licensed, right?
No, I didn't say I was a realtor. I said I was an
Yeah. Initially you said realtor, but so I thought maybe you had been licensed. But yeah, you're going to share that you're an investor. This is how we're investors. We buy properties all over the country. We do this all the time. We know what we're doing.
Right. And I think that's what gave her kind of like that peace of mind, because I
Yeah.
think just regular people have been coming to rent. And when I told her I was an investor, that I would be taking care of the property and all the, whatever issue comes up, she doesn't have to worry about it. So she was like, oh, okay, I think I'm open to that. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do a lot of phone, huh?
Yeah, I do. I called like 6 people this morning. So Yeah, I'm just practicing. Like she did way better than me. Like, I was like, oh wow, she went step to step. I just go straight to it. Like, okay, I saw your property on the market, but and
Yeah.
I do tell them, if it's not a good fit, then free to fire me or whatever. I just start with that. But then during the conversation, I just try to find out, how long has the property been vacant for, while you're selling. I just get into regular conversation with
Absolutely,
them.
absolutely. That's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up. This is not a paint by the numbers scenario for us. These are the things we need to gather. This is what needs to happen. This is the information that needs to be gotten. You can get them out of a regular conversation. The purpose of these role plays is that it becomes second nature for you to know what information to get. So Addie sounds like she is at the point at which she knows what information she needs to get. So
Heck
someplace
yeah.
within that conversation, she's going to extract the things that she needs to work with in order to get to this recap, solve and satisfy, ask the closing questions and confirm, right? So
Mhm.
that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get you to do this whole process, but do it in your style, do it in your way, just sticking to some of the certain rules. One important rule, obviously, is the 3-minute rule. Get off the phone as quickly as you can if this person is not cooperating or interested in doing something that you can actually work with.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like Addie said, she gave him permission to fire her. Perfect. Okay, that sets people at ease. It lets people know that, look, I'm not going to hard sell you. We're going to
Right.
talk about some things. If it makes sense, fine. If not, feel free to, send me on my way. So
Right.
what it does is it gives them the sense that they're now back in control, like they have the power. Everybody likes to sit in that seat, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All of us and all of them. We all like to sit in that. So that's really just a psychological little, maneuver to let them feel like, I'm in control of this situation, and all that, the deal.
Right. So Victor,
Yes.
I think I know where I went wrong. Can we run through it one more time really quick?
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for being courageous and stepping out on the thin branches. Really appreciate that.
No problem. I'm trying to
Yeah,
get this.
that's right. That's right. Where do you want to start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All
we'll
right.
go through quick. And can we just assume that the house is $250,000?
That's right. That's where we're going with. It's going to
Okay.
be a sweet spot house, 250,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Okay. I'm ready. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Crystal. May I speak to Victor, please?
Um, this is Victor.
Hi, Victor. My name is Crystal, like I said, and I saw your house
Hmm.
online on Zillow,
Hmm.
and I'm really, really interested in possibly purchasing your property. I'm looking to buy my
Uh-huh.
next investment property,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to give you a call, see if
Okay.
I could ask you a few questions. You could
Uh-huh.
ask me a few questions. And if at any time during our conversation, you don't feel like, we're going to be a good fit or I'm not the solution for you,
Uh-huh.
you can just let me know right then and there. And you can fire me and, we'll both go our separate ways. Does that sound fair?
That sounds great to me.
Okay, great. So, like I said, I saw your place online. It looks really, really nice.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful
Okay.
house.
So off the role play.
Okay.
The sooner you get them talking and you not talking, the better. So
Okay.
the way you do that in this, and this is where I want you to go with this, is, I looked at the house, it looks beautiful. Why haven't you sold it yet? Conversation. They start telling you, right? Well, I don't know. It's,
Okay.
whatever. And then you say, you could say something like, tell me about your house. Tell me a little bit about your house.
Okay. All right.
Then get me talking as much as more than you're talking, like
Gotcha.
the strategy.
Gotcha.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah, sure, that sounds great to me. What do you need to know?
Okay, so like I said, I saw it online. It looks really nice. Why
Mhm.
haven't you sold it yet?
I have no idea. I really thought that it was going to sell before now.
Oh, okay. And how long have you lived there?
I've been here 15 years.
15 years. Wow. So why is it that you would that you're looking to sell it?
Well, I got a job transfer, and I have to be out of here in a short order in about a month and a half.
Oh, nice, nice. A job transfer. That sounds like a great thing. You moving out of state?
Yeah, I'm moving out of state.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, nothing like a big move to a new place. Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So how much were you asking for it? And how much you think it's worth?
Well, I'm asking 250
Okay. All right. All right.
off the role
So,
play. How did you come to that price?
oh,
Did you pay for an appraisal?
okay.
So the implication is if they didn't pay for an appraisal, you know, the subliminal message is, you know, your price may not be all that that you think it is. You know, that's the
Okay.
subliminal message that you're sending right there.
Got you. Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you didn't pay for an appraisal. So basically you're just guessing.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, hold
Okay.
on one
So,
second. You're in the background.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So, how much were you asking for it? How much is it worth?
250.
250. All right. And so how did you come to that price?
Well, I have some realtor friends, and I kind of, was looking once I started getting ready to sell it. I looked at some stuff online, and that seemed like I was in a good market sweet spot.
Have you had an appraisal at all?
No appraisal yet.
Okay. So if I were able to make you an offer today that you'd feel comfortable with, do you think you might want to do business today?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So, well, like I said, I'm a real estate investor and I am looking for my next investment property. And like I said, I
Okay,
saw
so
yours.
so so once again, you want to stay away from doing the presentation, letting them know you want to keep me talking. So let's go right here to the qualifying questions section. Okay,
Okay.
so you've gotten my why. I've got a job transfer and it's coming down here pretty quick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you know my timing. I have to be out of here in about a month and a half. So
Mm-hmm.
what's the most important part about this? Any conversation with the seller is listening,
Okay.
making sure that you pick up all of the nuance in the conversation, the stuff that they're not telling you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and dig into, because this right here is where you're going to make your deal at, right? The agenda and the setup or anything is just to introduce yourself and let them know that you're, high quality individual with experience.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so now in the qualification questions, you want to know, why are you selling? Why are you having to do what you're doing? Why are we in this conversation? Okay.
Okay. So the job, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So then when he says that he wants to relocate, have to go, because isn't that the why? So I got to find out more about why is what you're saying?
Um, well, you kind of already know why, that type of thing. But now you can. What's his problem now that he's relocating?
Oh,
Finding a home.
right.
So
Oh,
asking
okay.
questions about, oh, okay, you're relocating. So what are you going to do when you get to the other side, right? Because I just gave you. Now
Oh,
he has another problem. The more he tells you about this other problem, the more you can solve it, right? So what are you going to do when you get to the other side? And if you want, I'll role play that with you, and then we can work through it.
wait a
You
minute.
with
My
me?
internet was lagging. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Go
That's
ahead. I
okay.
heard you. Mhm.
Okay. So, I'm getting a job transfer in, I'll be out of here in a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay. Um, I lost myself, Victor. Okay, so
Okay,
off the role play. I'm
go back
lost
to
because
where
I
you
missed the
were,
whole part.
I'll pat him on the back, tell him how exciting it was, how exciting that must be. If you have anything you can relate to it, I've recently done it myself, whatever, build a connection right there on the fact that he's moving. But the main question now, and if you think about it, he now has another problem.
Buying this other house and having to sell the one he has?
Well,
No?
we don't know if he's trying to buy. What we do know is he have a
Oh.
problem. So we want to ask him, what happens now? What are you going to do on the other side? Is the company taking care of your housing, or how are you going to deal with that? Because that's going to help you structure your deal, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So try that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm being transferred. I got to be gone in a month and a half, 2 months. I got to be out of here. I'm going out of state to Florida, where my new job is located.
Oh, that sounds really exciting. Florida is
Yeah.
an amazing place. So is your job relocating you, or are you having to find other housing when you get there on
Yeah,
your
they're
own?
kind of helping me, but I still need to, have some funds and stuff. They're only going to look out for me for, I believe the first 2 or 3 months, and then I'm kind of on my own.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. I don't know where to go from there.
So what would it?
Because I don't know when it's time for the
like a regular
closing.
conversation. If you were having a conversation with your girlfriend, let's say, right, and she told you that she was moving, you would immediately start asking, well, do you have a place? Well, how are you going to get set up? Do you have enough money to make that happen? You would have that. That's how you would talk to your girlfriend, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you're going to talk to me like that. You're going to basically create a relationship. Look, I get it that that's moving can be really stressful. Do you have everything set up already on the other end? If I was your girlfriend, wouldn't you be asking me those questions?
True. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to be uncomfortable right here, and you don't have to get into your head. You're just trying to get to know this person now and identify where you can get in.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I'm moving to Florida. I'll be down there in a month and a half, 2 months.
Okay. So when you move, is your whole family going, or Victor?
Oh, nice.
I drop out. My
Not,
mind is
no,
so
that's good. That's
I'm
good.
done.
That's good. Are you all moving down together, or because sometimes somebody moves and they leave the family behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
While they set up shop. So you're on track. That's good thinking. Yeah, just be natural. No, we're all moving down. They won't stay behind. They got to follow me wherever I go.
Oh, okay. All right. And you don't have anything set up yet, or you're waiting for your job to set you up? Is that
No, my
what you
job
said?
is, they're gonna, they have a place and stuff, that they have set up while I look for some housing and stuff. So they'll look out for me for maybe the first 2 months, 3 at the most.
So you're gonna need some possibly some income from this property, or see, Victor, again, I don't know where to go after this. I'm gonna listen to somebody else.
Okay, that's
I'm
perfect.
tapping out.
Thank you for jumping in here. You were amazing. And this is, just so you know, this is where everybody goes. This is where everybody gets stuck, especially initially. And it doesn't help that you're being broadcast and you're in front of an audience and all of that. If you were in your little booth with your headset, it would probably be a lot easier for you.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I don't know where I'm crossing the line between nosy and and I don't know if I should.
Usually you can avoid nosy by getting them in a conversation and having them talk.
Right.
They'll just talk. Most of these people, they'll just talk. They'll just tell you. And then if they're not that kind of person who's going to tell you, then you start to qualify them, right? Do I want to even be in a long-term relationship with this person? When I mean long-term, I mean however long it takes to do this deal. Are they going to be a pain in the ass for my next 45 days? And am I willing to deal with the pain in the ass that they're going to be?
Right.
And my thinking is it all depends on the compensation.
The initial conversation.
No, the compensation.
Oh,
Like,
compensation.
I'll
Okay.
put up with you a little bit more at 100,000 than I will at 10.
Makes sense.
Right? Like, at
Yes.
100,000, I got a little bit more space for you to be a jerk.
Right. True.
Because my celebration is going to be so much bigger.
Right. But Victor, after
Uh,
I already know that he's relocating, he's taking his family with him. His
uh-huh.
job is giving him only taking care of him for 2 months.
Uh-huh.
What else do I need to know? Like when do I now?
Okay, well, what do
Where,
you need? What will you need to take care of you for those 2 months? What are you thinking?
okay.
Right? You're gonna need something. Well, I'm gonna, that's why I'm selling the house. Okay. Is there a dollar figure? Let's reverse roles and you be me. Same kind of scenario, right?
Uh-huh.
And we'll kind of play it out. You hear some of my questions, right?
Okay.
Okay, so man, that's amazing. You got a job transfer. I'm hoping it's a pay raise, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Definitely.
What kind of business you in?
I'm an educator.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, I want you to know that we appreciate all of you for taking care of our kids. Okay.
Well, thank you.
No, absolutely. So all I'm doing there is I'm stroking and I'm building
Uh-huh.
relationship, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm acknowledging them and I'm building relationship. I want to get to be their guy. I want them to like me.
Okay.
Okay, so back on the role play. Great. Now, usually when somebody does something like that, it usually requires that they spend some money, do whatever. How much is going to take for you to make this move comfortably?
Whew, I'm gonna need at least, buddy, I'm gonna say about $10,000. I'm gonna need it. Yep.
You gonna need
Big
about
whop.
10,000?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I got to get the whole family down there and stuff, and
Oh, absolutely. That 10,000 makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and whiteboard that 10,000. And about the price, are you flexible at all on that 250? Can we maybe talk about a better price? If I could close quickly and you don't pay the closing costs, what's the best price you can give me?
if you can close quickly so I can get out of here and I don't have to pay the
And you don't pay
closing.
any closing costs. I take care of all the closing costs. What would be the absolute best price you can give me for this property?
Oh man, I really need that 250, but I guess I could come down to maybe 245, maybe, but I'm really tight on that price.
Okay, all right. I get that. So 245 is your offer. How much is your monthly payment, if you don't mind me asking? How much would it take does it take you to maintain this property? Just so I have an idea for myself.
My monthly mortgage is 900.
Okay, and does that include the taxes and the insurance?
Yes, sir.
And it's not an interest-only loan, right?
No.
Okay, all right. So
Wait.
$900 pretty much covers everything.
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
great. Okay, perfect. All right. So if I hear you correctly, if I could put $10,000 in your pocket right now, then we could talk about the other aspects of the deal.
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm thinking a $5,000 discount is not probably going to be enough for me, even though I will take it. But I'm an investor. I buy properties all over the place, and this is my job, this is my career, this is how I feed my family. So at that price point, I probably need to talk to you about some terms, right? If I could get you the 10,000 right now, would you be willing to maybe hold the note on this and collect some monthly payments on it?
Oh, hold the note. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Hold the note. You mean what? What is that?
You'll be acting as the bank. We'll put it into escrow. I'll send you there'll be a check that goes in every single month that covers all of your at least all of your expenses that you have on the property, and you will be getting a check every month.
Well, wait a minute,
because responsibility on the home.
Well, wait a minute, because I have to buy another house down there, and I don't want this stretching me out as far as my credit, and I can't get another house. So if you only have the note and I'm still on the mortgage, what am I supposed to do?
That's a great point. I was just throwing it out there to see if maybe it was an option for you, but obviously you've thought a little bit about this.
Yeah, I can't do that one. My
Again,
credit will be stretched too far.
right. You see what I'm saying? So again, stroking, letting them know that, I totally get it. They're on track, acknowledging them for being as wise as they are, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. So
Mhm.
let me ask you this. If you don't sell this in the next 45 days, what happens then?
Well, unfortunately, I still got to go, and I'm still gonna have to pay for this dang thing while I'm there. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't have a choice. That's why I'm trying to hurry up and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally get that. Now, I understand you're going for a job. How's your, on your monthly income? Would it help you to have some additional monthly income? Would that be to your advantage, or maybe not?
Well, being that I am moving to Florida and it is, the cost of living is less, my income is going down. I
Uh-huh.
actually hadn't thought about that, sir, but
Yeah.
I could use, I could use it. Yeah, I could use it because I'm gonna be making a little bit less, but
Okay.
the cost of living, it kind of equals out. So if I could get that extra bump every month, I think that would work for me.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I propose. Before I go there, let me ask you: have you done any research as far as the rents in the area? How much would it cost to? How much are people getting for rents in an area like yours?
Here where my house is right now.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I believe the area rents are 1,300 from what my husband saw online.
Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, so about 1,300. Let me
Yes.
just let me just run a scenario by you real quick and see if it makes sense. If I could get you the $10,000 that you need immediately, if I could give you your absolute full price for the property, exactly what you're asking for, the 250. I'll give you the full price of the property. I'll give you the $10,000 down, and I would even give you monthly payments of $1,000. Is that something we can talk about, or maybe not?
Okay, so when you say monthly payments of $1,000,
hmm So what I'll be
my
doing is I'll actually be leasing your home for 36 to 48 months. And in
mm,
the meantime, I'll be responsible for all of the maintenance. I'll put a high quality buyer, which I have in your area, ready to move, but they just can't qualify for the traditional bank financing. So I'm going to put a high quality tenant. By the way, you'll have the right of first refusal on this tenant. You'll be able to see everything and make sure that it's somebody quality. And we set up, insurances so that you never have to get a call in the middle of the night or do anything else like that. And we're going to look to cash you out at your full price, within the first, 36-month period.
oh gosh, that's a mouthful. So what you're saying is my mortgage is 900. You're gonna
Mhm.
pay me 1,000.
Yes,
So I'm gonna be responsible for paying my mortgage, and I'm gonna make $100 a month. Is that what you're saying?
that's correct.
So I get $100 income, my mortgage gets paid. Now what if you get some lousy ass tenants in here? What and they tear up my house? What am I
That
supposed
is
to
a,
do?
that is a great point. So I get that a lot from people. Here's two things I want to say about that. One is you're going to be selling to homeowners, not renters. These people will have enough skin in the game to be committed to making sure that everything's taken care of. Plus, they'll be responsible for all maintenance and anything on the property less than $500. And then over $500, I actually require them to buy a home warranty for the first year in case anything goes wrong, a roof leak or anything like that.
I don't know. My husband always tells me when stuff sounds too good to be true,
Okay, does
beware.
this
So
does
what?
this sound too good to be true for you?
Yes, sir, it does. So
Well,
what I'm gonna
I love that response. That's that. It may sound a little bit too good to be true, but if you really break it down, it's just really fundamental, right? I will pay you a full price for the property. I will give you a monthly income over and above whatever it is that you're paying out right now. What the worst case scenario is that when it comes time for them to qualify, they don't. You'll make a decision. Do I want to continue with these people because they've been really good and they're taking care of the property? Or do I just want to do this again and collect another, large down payment? All of the control is in your hands.
Well, I guess the next thing is left for me to say is I'm gonna have to research and find out if I'm gonna be able, if we're gonna, be able to qualify for another mortgage. But in the meanwhile, maybe if you could just send me something so I can understand and my husband and I can sit down. Like, do you have like a document or something that I could read about lease options or something
Yeah, I
that
can
I
send you
don't?
to my website. It explains all of that. As far as that's concerned. But I really kind of want to get back to you because it sounds like this kind of solves all of your problems except for your qualifying for your new place.
Yes.
Okay, so we can look at something else, that gets you all the cash that you want. But as an investor, I'm going to probably need to do something better than the $5,000 discount that you proposed. If I was to bring you all cash, like I said, you would have no more responsibility. I come to your door, I drop a suitcase with cash, we'll sign on the property, and you'll be on your way. Could we do maybe I don't know, you'd probably be humiliated by the offer that I make. But could we look at doing something like 180, 190 and close in 10 days?
No, no way. No. Whew.
No?
Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm.
Okay. So you need the $10,000. I can get that to you.
Mm-hmm.
I can also get you, and more than likely you'll be completely out of this home in 2 years. But it sounds like you need a bunch more money to not only put down on the other house, but you're afraid of your debt to income because this note will still be on your credit.
Yes, sir. That's a big deal because I can't put all these kids in an apartment.
Okay, I absolutely get that. And 5,000 is your absolute best discount for me.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, yeah. Well,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
Well, I guess if I had to, sir, I could go down to 242, 240 if I had to, but I really would have to discuss that part with my husband. I
I,
can make
I
a
absolutely.
decision to give you a $5,000 discount.
I understand completely. Is your husband available right now? Could we possibly get him on the line and I can propose this so you don't have to, whisper down the lane. You know how that works. Not that, it would happen with you, but stuff changes. So if he's available, I'd like to maybe get him on the line right now.
No, he's at work.
Okay. Is there a time that maybe all three of us can get on the phone together?
Yeah, after 7 p.m. tonight, 7 to 8.
Okay, all right, all right. So what I'll do then is I'll go ahead and put you on the calendar where I can actually speak with you and your husband at the same time. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and put together a couple of different options for you and get it over to you so that you guys can maybe have something in front of you when we speak again at 7 o'clock. Does that sound good?
Sure. Yeah, why
Okay,
not?
if you don't mind, let me have your absolute best email.
Okay. ABC123@gmail.
Perfect, perfect. ABC123@gmail.
Yes, sir.
I got that. And just for my records, can you give me your full name again?
Yes, that's Crystal
Uh-huh. Is that what it's
Tober.
K or a C?
Nope, the way you find it in the dictionary, a precious gem. Crystal.
I hear you over there. Okay. What's your last name, Crystal?
Tober, Tober.
All right. All right, Crystal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a couple of options for you. I'll get them into your inbox, check on it. Is this a cell phone I'm speaking on?
Yes, it is.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll send you a text or something and let you know that to check your inbox as soon as I get it over there to you. And then I'll look to reconvene with you guys at 7 o'clock tonight.
Awesome. I look forward to hearing from you.
So one last question.
Sure.
Whether you like this deal or not, can we commit to some sort of communication at 7 o'clock tonight? No, Victor, we're not interested. Whatever it is that you communicate with me, because I'm going to carve out some time in my calendar. And if something happens and you can't make it, your husband's working late or whatever, will you let me know?
I certainly will. Absolutely.
I I really, really appreciate that, Crystal. Thank you so much for your time. And I'll send this over to you here shortly, and I'll reconvene with you and your husband at 7.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
All
was
right.
almost ready to hang up a phone.
Don't hang up. Don't hang
Whoa.
up. It sounded like a real conversation, right?
It did.
Right.
It
So,
did. But now you took more than 3 minutes because on this paper
no,
it
no, the
says,
qualifying is 3 minutes.
oh,
You
okay.
were already qualified in 3 minutes that it was worth having a conversation with you.
Oh, okay.
What
okay.
I mean by disqualifying is that guy who says, yeah, my price is $250, I'll take $250, and I'm not interested in nothing else. Okay, Mr. Stellar, thank you so much.
Okay. If I would have said 250 is it, I can't bargain with you, then that's those 3 minutes right there in that qualifying section where
With me, I would have probably threw a couple of other options in there. I was, I'm not going to just get off the phone on the first one. I'm obviously going to ask you a couple of other questions, or something, because just by the fact that they're selling their house, they start at 5.
Okay.
And they might even have some things going on that they haven't thought about that I can solve. So I want to just go a little bit deeper and find out.
Okay.
And just because you want all cash and you want it right now doesn't necessarily kill the deal. I'm still going to present an offer to you. And if that doesn't work for you and your husband tonight at 7, I'm going to follow up with you a little bit later to see if you were able to move the house.
Okay. So then when you hang up the phone with them, do you then get to work on putting together the paperwork to send them the information, right? So that they can look
Correct.
at it, or no?
Correct. Just a real simple, maybe 3 option agreement that I have where it gives you 3 options. I may send that over. Because right now, you guys can chime in here. Where do you think this person was at on the motivation scale?
Hey, Victor, I have a question.
Maybe 5.
About an 8.
You thought she was about 8?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't think she was quite an 8, only because she still had some options in her mind, right? Like she still had some concerns, and at this point, she still thinks that she has some ability to negotiate a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So I saw her more as a 7. I can move her to a 10, and it's going to be real important because I might be able to sell the husband when he gets home.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to send you some stuff over, and I really want to get you and your husband on the phone at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, Victor, how you doing?
What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy, before you ask, Suzette was in here first, so let me go ahead and let her ask her question.
Thank you. Just quickly, wouldn't you maybe have her a little bit more emotional involved before going fully into the presentation? Like when she gave you all I need this amount of money because I'm doing all these things. Could you have maybe asked additional questions to get her more emotional involved, or somehow use that to see, you know what I mean?
Yes, I absolutely know what you mean, and you may be absolutely on track with that. I could have probably gone a little bit further into the whole emotional thing and try to engage her in the $10,000, but I kind of just took it at face value. I'm really just looking to see, what I can do as far as this. When I started asking about the husband being involved, now I know that she's not necessarily the decision maker. So I only want to go so far, right? But you're absolutely right. Yeah, I could have jumped on that. And you guys, this is exactly why we do the role play, because when you're on the phone, and even no matter how many times you've been on the phone, I talked to Claude, I talked to Justin, I talked to everybody else who does this. Almost every time you get off the phone, you go, damn, I could have done this. I should have said this, right? Like, you guys are on the phone, you know the deal. We do it all the time. There's every now and then you do a perfect presentation, but thank you for that input. You're absolutely right. I could have probably, talked a little bit more about that and kind of got her attached emotionally, kind of, went into the greed, of her a little bit. but I don't really know, how valuable it would be because the husband could squash all of it,
Mm.
right? He could
Yeah,
squash
so
all of
Victor,
it.
That's
is it
true. That's true. But usually women has, they
It's
said
more power in
that the women.
in the
Yeah,
decision when it comes
Yes.
to buying a house.
exactly.
Another
Yes.
great point. Another great point. I really, if I can get them on the phone together though, I can have her be my ally.
Ah, yeah,
I can
because you've
have her,
explained
if
it.
I get them on the phone together, I can then go into, and that's what I would do. If they were on the phone together, I would definitely address her issues and I would make her issues the most important part of the conversation.
So then,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
go
If
ahead.
her issue is being able to qualify for another house, how do we go about that?
I'll just ask more questions about that. Are you looking to buy right away? Do you have a house already lined up? Just some other questions. And because of that, this may or may not be a deal for me because if they need the money right away, they need a large amount of money to be able to go into their new house. So there's a couple of things that didn't match here. To go into their new house, they're going to need more than $10,000. But you told me you needed $10,000. So there's kind of a separation here, right? Because
Because they
you're not going to be able to go to the new house with $10,000, but that's what you told me.
right.
Okay. So
Just
there's a
because it's
little
a
bit
figure they
there,
want.
huh?
Just because it's just a big fat amount they want.
Yeah, and that's fine, because they need moving money. They need to go set
Right.
up in their new place. And I presented whether or not, some additional cash flow. You could have also countered and said, $100 doesn't move my needle.
Yeah, $100 a month, right?
Yeah.
Then what do you say?
Because I'm working with 1,300. I'm just negotiating this so I can keep 3. If they said they wanted to hold 1,300, would I get off the phone and not make it a deal? Never. I'll give them the whole 1,300. Doesn't matter to me. But I'm negotiate first to see if I can jump on that 300 for myself.
But if you don't,
I think your internet or your cell disappeared.
wait a minute.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now, Victor?
I can.
Okay, so if I said I wanted the whole 1,300, then, and you don't, you say, okay, you're going to stay in the deal. How are you going to make money?
I'm not going to stay in the deal if she asks for the whole 1,300.
So you're just going to then give it to the
Find a
buyer.
lease option buyer, take my money,
Okay.
put them together, and go about my business.
I got it. Okay.
Right? See,
Yeah.
I'm trying to create income first with the sound.
Right.
That's my
Okay.
first move. Because if I can get a $300 a month cash flow, I'll take it all day, every day.
Okay.
Right? But if the prospect says, no, I'm gonna need more than that, I'm gonna need, I'll go all the way up to the full amount of whatever I'm collecting in rent. I'm good with it.
Okay. So that's how you determine whether you're going to just give it to the end buyer or stay in the middle. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I determine. If they're willing to take less than I know I can get for it, would you take a $300 cash flow on this deal?
Oh, me? I would. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Imagine, you get 10 of these, that's $3,000 a month. That covers pretty much most people's bills.
Right. Okay.
Right? So that's all I'm aiming for. I'm trying to create an income out of this deal. And, if I can get the price down a little bit, some people don't negotiate at all. We was on a call on Saturday with John Jackson. He says he never negotiates price. I do, because if I can get the price down 5,000, that means that's 5,000 more for me to work with.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
I'm
makes
gonna
sense.
mark the price up because of the lease option situation. And it sounds to me, now keep in mind, I have time for this. I have some due diligence time. I just want to get that contract. I want to get that signature.
Right. Okay.
Right. So by the time it closes, it may not look exactly like this because we may massage some things. But this is a great place for us to start. So far I've got into a conversation. I've agreed to give you, what you needed to get moving. I've built in myself a little $300 a month cash flow if it goes like this. And I also have some room to manipulate.
Now, Victor, now that goes all with the rule one, always set your agenda. So every deal you want to structure and create it the way you want to do it before you get on that call for your numbers, like you said, because it's about you making your passive income first, not the customer. You're in control of your
Yeah.
business. So
It,
you
it may
want to,
not be passive. It may not be passive. It may be your assignment money or whatever that you're
right.
going to get. But like you're right, Rosalind. Thank you for jumping on. I really appreciate having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're going to structure this. You're
Right.
going to start to your greatest advantage.
Right.
That's
Right.
always where you start, right? You
Right.
start from your greatest advantage, and then you work your way down to the point at which it no longer makes sense for you to do the deal.
Right. Everything you said is 100% right. And then when Victor said about the husband and wife, we women think we're in control, but men feel real power when they speak to another man and they can close the deal with another man.
Yeah.
And today I noticed that a lot of the coaches now are starting to stick with that. The gentlemen are starting to stick close together. They make the decision, and the woman is there to maintain and keep the finances and know about the finances. But the men has control of making that decision making. Even though they let the woman have the power in front of us or on the phone, they don't take that from her. But behind closed doors, the man makes the decision.
Here's the other thing about that too is your ideal opportunity to close is going to be with both of them present.
Right.
Because they will both ask questions, they will both have concerns. You can determine based on the tone who has the authority, and you can tailor your conversation to enhance the authority to get to your close.
And
So
don't
then,
forget,
does that make
I'm
sense?
sorry.
yes, and just to ditto off of that, make sure there ain't no other heirs that's attached to that property too, because sometimes the grandchild is grandfathered on that deed and stuff. Say all the decision makers on this deal too.
Yeah.
Make sure you say,
Yeah.
make sure you ask that question.
I'll make sure that all of that happens, at the conversation. But I knew immediately, as soon as she says I need to speak with someone else, or my husband needs to be in on this, I need them both on the phone, on a Zoom call, on a phone call. I can't have her doing my offer to him for me, or vice versa. Like that is the one way to get your deals, just stomped on. When people are hiding behind a veil and they can throw as many wrenches as they want to, because there's nobody to hold them accountable. That's what you're there for. That's what you're there to try to close this deal. If anybody has any feedbacks or opinions about that, feel free to share.
You're also going to find out that people listen to what they listen, and it doesn't always come along what you're going to say verbatim. They hear what they want to hear.
Right.
A big thing that I do in the beginning of a conversation, and listen, everything we're dealing with is emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these people, they're not professionals. They might be salespeople. And by the way, salespeople, I think, are the easiest people to sell.
We're the easiest. We're horrible.
We're all suckers. What are you going to do? But the big thing is, do you think this conversation would be going different if this home was on the market for 3 days or it was on the market for 3 months? That's gauging motivation, because now the stress level goes up all the time. That's a really important factor to find out.
Yeah.
And they might even lie to you. But before you make the phone call, I always check around. I want to see how long it's been on the market. But think about that. You're dealing with people's emotions. Push the buttons. Sometimes you're going to need to in the beginning. You want to find out what the pain level is. All right? What's really going to push them over the edge? Just thought I'd share. Thanks, man.
That was awesome,
absolutely.
Steve.
So
that was awesome.
So Steve is exactly right. So what I want to do is I want to get into position to exert the greatest amount of emotion, right? But I can't do that if I don't have the key parties in on the conversation. I find that the easiest way to lose a deal is to think that one person is sold enough to sell another person without you. Right? Except when that person says, "Nope, I'm the only one. I make all the decisions here." That sounds amazing. I wish I was in the same situation. I have to check with some folks, but man, I wish I was you. Compliment, acknowledge, and let them know that, you're listening to them, you're hearing what they're saying. So to kind of, button this all up, unless anybody else has any more comments they want to make.
I just have one more quick question.
Sure.
So then once you make that connection, you find out, why they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But before you even get on the call with them, are you looking at the comps for this house to know exactly where you stand and what it is that you can offer? Are you doing that first, or are you just getting on a call with them, knowing how much it costs and going from there? Are you doing due diligence and finding a lot of stuff out before you actually talk to them?
Yeah, I don't waste a bunch of time doing a bunch of homework before I talk to them. Something like what Steve is referring to, you can just have PropStream open in front of you, and you can just know immediately. You don't have to. It's not like a big deal. But
One thing to do. That's it. Victor. Have PropStream up in front of you. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're going to know who owns the property, where it is, and nobody's going to pull a bag over your head.
Yeah.
You can have a half an hour conversation with someone that sounds like they're motivated and ready to go, and they don't even own the damn house.
Yeah. It has happened. Okay. It has happened. So yeah, you want to do stuff like that, or you can simply do it while you're on the phone with them. Okay, let me take a look. And that's one of the reasons why I really love PropStream, because when you go to that front page, you have so much information on the property. You have the square footage, you have the number of bedrooms and baths, you have the ownership information. It even will red mark if they might be tax delinquent, anything like that. So you have all of this information already in front of you. You don't necessarily need to let them know you have all that information in front of you, but you want to be able to have that information guide your conversation.
And if you don't tell them you're an investor up front, and you've got this information in front of you, that conversation is going to go a lot differently.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to verify a couple of things I see on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you go that way, what did Steve just do? Instantly, he raised his credibility with that person. He now becomes a professional, right? And again, it has nothing to do with you doing a whole bunch of research at first. Because imagine if you want to make 20 calls today,
mm-hmm.
and you were going to take the time to try to research all of them beforehand, understanding that 19 of them are going to be crap.
Right.
That's your excuse not to do the right thing. That's the excuse not to do the money paying work.
Right.
Like that's how we kind of excuse ourselves and start doing a bunch of busy shit instead of getting on the phones, right?
Right.
Because you can do the phones and do that all at the same time. They don't have to be exclusive of each other. The first thing you want to find out is if you have somebody on the phone who is actually ready to do a deal, ready to talk, or has a situation that you can solve.
And that takes you 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. That's the 3 minutes. Do you have a problem? Do you have a situation in the house? Is there something that I can solve? And if not, thanks for your 3 minutes.
Hey, Victor, do you care how many bedrooms are in the house?
It all depends. I target
in the beginning when you qualify them. Do I care?
I don't care.
You know what I mean? I
don't care. I don't know. I haven't asked enough questions. I don't know enough.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know enough. So yeah, if it could be a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, but they might put 1 bedroom, 1 bath in 1,400 square feet. I still got a deal, right?
What I was getting at was just to gauge the motivation in the first 3 minutes. Do I give a damn how many beds are in the house? Mm-hmm. those questions, you got it on PropStream. You can look right at it. So
yeah. Steve has a whole lot of experience. So I would definitely listen to where he is with that. He understands what he's doing. Been in finance for years. Is an investor and is currently a landlord investor. So
you're the man, Victor. You're the man. You're the man.
You're the man too, Victor.
I'm just a man that knows the man.
Hey, I'm getting results, Victor. I'm getting results. So you're the man.
Thanks, Rosalind. I always love you, baby.
I know that's right. I'm coming to California.
All right. Well, when you get here, definitely look me up. We'll break some bread.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Victor, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah. Oh, before you ask that question real quick, Jimmy, you still on the line?
Yeah, I'm still online.
I want to
I
get
was
back to
just
you because I know you asked a
piggybacking.
question that I didn't get a
Yeah,
chance to
no, I was just
respond to.
piggybacking of what you said about the previous person you spoke with about buying the property.
Yeah.
And I was just listening to about the motivation, and I realized she really wasn't really there when
Right.
she mentioned about the husband and had to wait for him to make a decision. It sounds like when she got off the phone, she's gonna actually go ahead and see if she has other options, like you said. That's all
Yes.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Exactly. And
It's not like she was just wasting your time. This sounds like it's just a follow up
exactly. It's
until
a
things
follow-up.
change.
It's getting
Yeah,
people together later on in the day where everybody's in the room and I can exert the most influence on this conversation.
correct. That's all it was.
Yeah. Okay, so who was that asking the young lady asking a question? I'm looking at a different screen. I
It
still
was
have my
me.
conversation thing up. So let me stop that.
No, I was just asking. So is it okay, like if she's, if you're calling a seller or whatever, and you kind of stalk to let them know you call them, the next day? Is that a good practice or no?
If you did what now?
Like if you're talking on the phone and you're like running out of questions, like you were, kind of stalk, is it okay to say, okay, you know what, let me do a little bit of research and I'll call you back, tomorrow or something like that?
Has that happened to you?
Sometimes it does when I'm like a little when I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll act like I'm writing something or I'm checking something on my computer, and I'll be like, you know what? Can I get back to you? Would this be a good time tomorrow? I just want to do a little research, and based on what
Absolutely,
I'm doing.
absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. One of the things Claude says is that the salesman always comes first. You're always the most important deal. If you find like emotionally you're detached, if you find like, you're pulling away from this conversation, you're not, really in tune with what's happening, you need to step back a little bit. Yeah, it's absolutely fine. The only risk that you run, obviously, is that she'll get another call someplace in between and now it's over. So that's the only risk that you really run. But at the same time, you gotta look out for you first. If you're not able, and I guess the only thing I can say about that is make sure that when you get on the phone, you prepare. That it's your
Right.
phone time, that you're emotionally in place, and there's no questions that you can't respond to because none of us on here are really spring chickens, right? We've all had some life experience. We all have stories we can share. We all have commonalities with people. We've all been through all these experiences. So there's always just that. And then it just goes back to you making sure you gather those key ingredients. Why, when, how much money can we do a deal today? If you can get those four things, you should never really, run into a situation where there's nothing for you to talk about.
Yeah, so on the back end, like for example, she has to move, and if she has a timeline, like okay, she needs to move, she needs that money, maybe in like 30 days or whatever.
Yeah.
And now you have to find an end buyer that's gonna put that down payment down. How do you cross that bridge if you don't find an end buyer that's gonna pay out the money she's looking for? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Like you put it on a contract, you say, okay, you send that contract and you say 60 days, you're looking for 60 days to find an end buyer that's going to do the lease option, but she doesn't have 60 days. She has 15 days or 3 weeks to move and she wants that money, and what if you can't find someone, an end buyer, in that time that she's looking to move or she wants that money?
a couple of things that you can do. One is if you feel like, what, I don't know if I can get a buyer for this. It might be a little rural. It might be outside of the areas that you really, work in. You're not sure about if you're going to be able to find somebody that you can put into that property in that time. Then maybe you just do a non-exclusive. That way you can just stay in the conversation. You can do your marketing, but if you don't find somebody, they can't really blame you for anything because it was a non-exclusive, right?
Okay, so you do let them know up front that you're gonna find an end buyer? Is that
Yeah.
what you
Oh
tell them
yeah.
that?
I let them know. I let them know it's not going to be me. I have buyers in your area that are highly qualified. In fact, you will have the right of first refusal because you will be able to take a look at their background, their credit, their tenant history, all of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So is that something we can move forward with, Ms. Seller?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So so there's always a way to manipulate it. If you feel like you might not be able to get this moved, but you're 50-50, right? Like maybe I can move it, maybe I can't. So what is it going to cost you now? It's going to cost you a few posts.
Mm.
You get a non-exclusive and you post it all over the place, right? It does tie your hands in some ways because now, you're really tied into a price point and all of that. You can't do a lot of movement because they probably have their Zillow ad running. They may or may not let you take control of their Zillow ad. So, when you do a non-exclusive, you kind of have to play in whatever ballpark they've already built, right?
Right. And that doesn't guarantee somebody else can bring them an offer, and I might lose the deal also if I do that, right?
Well, you can have it, both ways in terms of if you don't really feel that you can move this, or you don't feel like it's a sellable agreement that you can put into the marketplace and get money back from, then but you want to still see if maybe you can pull it off, then you do a non-exclusive. You put out some ads, you see what you get, and if you bring the first buyer, then now it's your deal.
Gotcha.
That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. If
Thank
you have some concern about it, let me ask you this question. If you really don't know for sure that you can move this in 15 days, isn't it a little disingenuous to them to give them to take an exclusive contract without you knowing? You're basically just holding them for ransom at that point.
Are you asking me the question?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I'm asking anybody. I mean, you can agree or
okay.
disagree with that if you like, but if you're going to put somebody in a bind, hold them for 15 days on an exclusive agreement, knowing that you already know that maybe you can't move this deal.
It's not that you just don't. It's not that you don't know. You wish you knew, because that's how you do your. That's your business, right? You're optimistic that you're gonna find a buyer or something like that. It's not like you want to intentionally hold them to ransom and hold their property, right?
Well,
So, but I'm just like, okay. First of all, I didn't know they have to know that up front. I didn't know that. I thought, you're just doing you put it on the contract and then you're able to go find a buyer or something, or have a buyer's list already good to go, right?
Yeah. If you
So,
have a buyer already good to go, that's kind of hard to do in this game. And I'll just give you an example. Has anybody ever, shopped for an apartment or a house?
yes.
We all have, right? So we go to this apartment or this house and we see it and we really like it, and we even make a low-key commitment to that landlord, seller, whoever, right?
Right.
But we're still looking because maybe it's not 100% of what we want, but I'm cool with it. Then you go look at another apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You find an apartment you really like. They're giving you 1 month free rent, half of the first month. All the deals. It's in a better neighborhood. You got a better view. What happens to the guy that you told you would get back to, especially if you didn't have any money involved?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And that's why it's hard to get somebody, these tenant buyers on the front end. You always want to be marketing for them and stuff, right? But then think about it this way. Are you going to go out and become a shopper for somebody? Maybe you will. If you feel like they're highly qualified, you run a campaign in that area that they're looking for and see if you can uncover something.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I think Justin, because I was asking him, and I'm not sure if it's online now. I think he was talking about targeting them on Facebook ads or whatever, targeting the
for
buyer.
disposition?
Yeah.
Or for finding tenant buyers.
For finding tenant buyers, sorry.
Yeah, but my point is this: they can sign up on, they can go to your website, they can put in all their information, they can be really intentional about being tenant buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody else calls with a better deal, or they go down the street, or they do whatever. They have no commitment to you, right?
Right.
So yeah, you can call all of your list and let them know that you have a property and to see if they're still available. My experience has been 8 out of 10 times they say, no, we found something else, and you know, we really like you. That's just how it is. And if you think about yourself, that's how we all are.
So what do? Do you do non-exclusive or exclusive? Well, how do you like structure your deals when it comes to that? Like for
It depends
example,
on the
right
deal.
now.
It depends
Okay.
on the deal. Every deal is unique in and of itself. So I may do exclusive, I may not, but every deal is you know, in and of itself stands on its own. So I may do a non-exclusive. I think I can move actually if I'm in question about being able to move the property, you know, I'm looking, I'm not seeing any cash buyers in the area. I'm not seeing a whole bunch of movement. It's kind of rural. This person has had it on the books for quite some time, and they haven't been able to do anything with it. You know, at face value, it sounds like it's a really good deal, right? But now this person hasn't sold this house in 8 months. And now all of a sudden, you're gonna tell them that you're gonna buy within the next whatever number of days or whatever, but the same market dynamics are working against you, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it all depends, right? If you work in some of these rural areas, you know, I may take a non-exclusive over there because I don't want to tie that person up. I don't want them to give, because I know that I'm, in my heart of hearts, I'm not really sure if I can move this because ain't nobody else moved it. It's been on the books for all this time. We know there's investors calling. We know, and it's basically just a matter of, you know what? Nobody wants to live there. The people who live there have been there 1,000 years. They're not moving, and nobody else is coming. You know, and if you've been on the phones and you've done deals, you've seen this. Contracts sometimes expire. It's up to you, conscience-wise, whether or not you want to, you know, hold it for as long as you're going to hold it.
Other thing I do, being in the business so long,
Yeah.
To nip out everything that's going on and get rid of the junk, I call it. I basically just, like Victor been saying all day, I choose what I want to market. I choose, I know my market, that's the market, and I search for houses that is a market that's moving quickly. I don't work in markets that's not moving at all, and I'm acting like I'm desperate and everything. I have to make so much money in the next 5 years for my retirement. So if I know that Brockton is a great area, people moving in there like every single day, they're selling every single day, they're buying every day, that's the market you need to work in. Just put that in your note. Work in a market in your area or where you want to work, and find out the street or whatever the area is working. Like Victor says it all the time, and just says all the time, work in a market that's moving. Don't waste your time in areas that's not working. Put that on the back burner. Don't reject it, like Victor said, but I'll do a non-exclusive all day on stuff like that. I'll just put in there. That'll be my ice cream money. I'll call it ice cream money. I might get lucky on it and get me chocolate ice cream instead of vanilla. That's it.
Yeah. I might be willing to take a shot, you know, take 30 minutes out of my day to post the ads all over the place about this property and see if I can move it. But I'm not gonna, you know, start cashing that check, because there's dynamics in place that I can't control. If nobody's buying in those communities, then nobody's buying. You're not going to magically have somebody show up in those communities.
No
and that's
way.
one of the reasons why, if you're marketing and building a business, one of the things that you want to do is stay in the business in the areas that people are doing business in.
That's right. That's it. That's the key. That's the total key of this business.
You guys put a lot of, you know, rural property under contract, and, you know, it's a nice house living on a, you know, it's on a lake or whatever, but there's only like 3 people in the entire state who even want that property. Everybody else wants to be closer to the city because they need to do work.
That's it. You're wasting your time. Time management is very important.
That's a non-exclusive agreement to me.
That's it.
I'm not going to tie your hands. I'm not going to keep you, you know, but I'll run a couple of ads, and, you know, if they come through first, we'll go ahead and do the agreement. You sign on the contract. Now I'm fully committed. Now we're off and running. Now I'm gonna make some money.
There you go.
That's it. Anybody got any input on that? Thanks, Rosalind.
Victor?
Yes.
What what contract would you use? Yeah, well, you're a realtor, so it might be different, but what contract, you say non-exclusive, so would you use the one that Justin has in his forms, or would you use something else?
Yeah, I use most of the forms that we have. I have some other ones, you know, of my own. But in pretty much any contract, you can, you know, as long as you have the Word document where it says exclusive or non, you can put in non-exclusive wherever you want to. But I do use, for the most part, I use the, you know, a non-exclusive agreement. You can go online and find one. It's really easy. But in Justin's course, yeah, he has non-exclusive.
So on a regular PFA, can you put non-exclusive?
You can.
You can. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Thank
yeah,
you.
you can. All right, folks. Another great day. I see my man Rick. He said he was going to jump in here and join us, man. Thanks for showing up, my friend. Always good to see you.
Always appreciate you, man.
Right on, right on. That's my dude right there. He's a Santa Clarita guy out here in SoCal with me. All right, you guys. Hey, thank you so much again for showing up and showing out. Crystal, your contribution today was absolutely amazing. Thank you for putting yourself out there on the thin branches and allowing us to, you know, learn from you. Steve, thanks for your input. You know, always valuable. Your experience is so appreciated. Anybody else who spoke up, you know, love the fact that you guys are participating in everything. And just by showing up, you make this an amazing. It always gets me fired up on Wednesdays. My Wednesdays usually go pretty good after I get off this call because I'm like, man, y'all be having me on fire. Like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. So
Thank you.
let me run down my thank you list. Crystal, Carl, Jason, Steve, Addie, Mr. Horton, Edward, Jaime, Jeff E, Kim, Lou Quinal, Mary, Moises, my man Rick, Rosalind Beaumont. Thank you for showing up, Roz. Waylon and Jason, you guys are the absolute best people ever, man. And all our my hopes and dreams for everybody is that we all get rich in 2021.
We can't be
Thank
us
you.
without you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Bye,
Victor.
everyone.
You're welcome. You guys have a great rest of the week, and you know, let's go knock it out. If you guys want to reach out to me, you know, you guys please do. If you have any questions, or you know, you want some help on the phones, or do anything like that, feel free to reach out. You know, I'm always willing to help. Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
You as well.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Victor.
You're welcome.